let's introduce yourself. Say your names. Just go around real quick.
Danny Hoy.
Dwight Hoy.
Mary Pasqua.
Colton Madsen.
Milton Madsen.
Colton Raballo.
Mike Coughlin.
Cindy Lure.
Carter Haight.
Okay. So, Mike kind of gave it away. My other question was, where did you go?
Nome.
Where is that?
Oh, it's really far away. Nome is a subarctic village off-road, far western Alaska, just a little bit south of the Arctic Circle. And it is the home of KICY radio, a mission that is very dear to my heart.
Okay, so why did you go?
I don't want to dominate this. This was a big year for mission opportunity with KICY because they were in need of a new housing unit for missionary. They don't pay missionaries, but they do provide housing, and so we helped. We were on a team that worked throughout the year on building a triplex, so there will be 3 apartments now for future volunteer missionaries.
Okay, that's the work you did. But why did you go?
Okay, I have a response from Riley, the other one that went along, my grandson. He said, I went to Nome because I took an opportunity that I thought I might not ever get again, and because I wanted to use my skills to help.
Amen. So why did you go?
I went because I felt God leading me to be there to assist in any way that might be needed. I love going on mission trips, and God shows us what is needed, and He provides ways for us to get there.
Anybody else want to add? You're going to add, Colton?
Yeah, so I've had Alaska on my bucket list since high school. And so when Mike had presented this opportunity back in January, February, I knew I had enough of a skill set to be a part of the team, possibly an asset to the team. And so that opened the door to not just being a part of the Nome journey, but giving myself 6 days before that trip to really make sure that my first Alaska experience was truly memorable.
Jump ahead. And did you have fun?
It was amazing.
Anybody else? Why did you go?
I went because I also have gone on mission trips and I enjoy it. It's been 15 years since my last one, which was to Fairbanks, Alaska, which is inland. It's not near the coast. So I kind of wanted to see the coast of Alaska. So, and construction job is not really me, but I know Dwight's handier at that. But they said, oh, they'll be painting. So I can do that. So
She did fantastic.
For me, it was, I can't say it wasn't just because I wanted a trip to Alaska, because that was a big part of it, but I did want to do some sort of a mission trip, and this was a good opportunity to combine both into one. So that's why I went.
So Mike described Nome as being the way, or the subarctic, way on the edge. What was there? What did you see? Well, you told me the other night when you landed, most of you landed, you couldn't see anything because of the fog. What was Nome like?
Secluded.
dusty. Even in the fog, it's still dusty.
Dirty.
Dirty and dusty.
It's like the wild, wild west.
Still?
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah. Tell them what you were promised, Milt.
Oh, when, our flight back we stopped in Anchorage, and our tour guide said they always tell men going up to Nome that there's a pretty girl behind every tree up there. But there are no trees.
There is a Nome National Forest. And what does that consist of?
That consists of all of the thrown away Christmas trees. After the holiday, all the residents march out onto the frozen Bering Sea and plant their Christmas tree. And so that's the Nome National Forest, and they have sweatshirts and T-shirts commemorating.
So what did your day look like when you woke up? You were there for how many days?
5.
5 days? So basically a Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday almost. So what did your day consist of?
I made coffee
All day?
in the morning, first thing.
Thank
And
you.
eggs.
I made some meals. So did Carter and Riley.
Yeah, it was a big kitchen. We were blessed to have that, the use of that, and lots of provisions, and yeah.
Most of the morning started out really foggy too. So, and also very bright. The sun came out like about 2 o'clock in the morning or
I never
earlier.
saw it dark.
It never got dark.
It never got completely dark. But it was foggy. There was one point where it was really foggy and we left and we drove up kind of into the hills. And once we got up there, it was bright and sunny and beautiful. And we drove a little further, came back down, right back into the gloomy fog down by the coast.
So you said you had kitchen facilities. Where did you stay?
The upper level of the church had, I think we were divided up into 5 different rooms. 2 of them were designated with a queen bed for the married couples, and then the other rooms had single beds for all the other singles were spread out.
So you all stayed in when you say the church, it's the Nome Covenant Church?
Yes.
Okay. How far, and then to walk to the station?
It's about a half mile, quarter mile,
Not bad.
5 blocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an
I don't
easy
know.
walk.
So you
It was
just,
easy.
you walked, and the building was next to the station that you were working on?
Yes.
And what you'll see here, these are just scrolling through pictures that they posted.
Buildings down.
It may not mean anything to you, and if it doesn't, ask them. Ask them stories afterwards.
Is
'cause-
there a way to get the picture on that one so we can see what
Oh,
they're
no,
looking at?
Yeah, we're
no, sorry.
Oh, okay,
sad.
never mind.
We started each day at 9:30, meeting at KICY, and then Patty would give us a rundown of what to expect for the day.
And who is Patty?
Patty Burchell, she's the director of the radio station. She's the one that was here last October, and she's coming back again October 8th. So put that on your
Wednesday,
calendar.
October 8th, put it on your phone, put it on your calendar.
Yes.
There will be another salmon feed, salmon fundraising time for that. So Mike maybe told you what to expect, or somewhat of what to expect. Was he even close?
No,
Not at all.
no.
What
He said
what didn't he say?
he didn't tell us how we were really all by ourselves there, and that I would be approached by someone asking where a bar was at. That happened on the first day I was there, and I'm like, okay, this is what it's about. But there was a lot of homelessness, and that was really sad to see. So there's a need there, definitely. And
I think we were all expecting to sleep in bunks in the bunkhouse.
in one room, but it wasn't all one room.
So the sleeping accommodations were better than what you expected.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
That
we,
Go ahead.
no, you can go, Mel.
Well, he told us we were going up there to paint, and we did, well, some painting on the exterior, but other than that, it was not a whole lot of painting. A lot of putting siding up and roof and framing.
There was a delay in the barge that gets the materials up there because they don't get trucks in like we do. They don't follow our distribution network in a lot of different ways. So where we ended up fitting into the construction of this triplex was nothing like the pace that we thought we were going to fill.
So what did you do? You alluded to some of the activities. what did you do on the triplex? What did you actually do?
So first day we worked, we were putting up vapor barrier on the ceiling. That's just
Inside.
and yeah, yep, up on the top level. So we put our vapor barrier insulation there. And then we broke off into our teams. There were painters. There was a team that was building the upstairs interior walls, because that was all one room when we started. The outside of the triplex was weather wrapped but not sided, and the roof was weather wrapped but not roofed. So we did painting siding, hanging siding, putting the roof down, and building interior walls.
I think it was not weather wrapped when we got there, it was bare wood. And I'm just
Does
gonna
Cameron
read
get
what
all of them?
Riley sent for a note.
Yeah,
He
you
said,
got it.
I
Thank you."
learned how to work better with others and learn more about framing. And he said, it was better than I expected. I was happy that I was able to experience more than I thought I was going to be able to.
So you've been home for 2 weeks. What's a memory that you want to make sure you don't forget? What struck you strong that you don't want to forget? I mean, Riley mentioned something there about working with people and doing some framing. What else?
I have another thing from Riley. He said, the highlight in Nome for me was that I was able to swim in the Bering Sea.
Okay.
It was something that I did not expect myself to do.
Swim in the Bering Sea.
Yeah, ask these guys about it.
Okay. Who did it? Okay. Why?
I did it because he
Colton.
mentioned it first. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. Can't be that bad.
How bad or how good was it?
It wasn't the best. It's what you'd expect when you jump into the ocean. It's cold. Yeah. I did do it twice.
So it was a bit of a sliding scale. On my anchorage leg, I did go up to one of the glacier-fed lakes up in the mountain, and I believe that cold therapy is a really beneficial thing for the body. But up there in that lake, that was frigid. So shifting to the ocean, you have a lot more moving water, and that keeps it cold to a degree. Still cold, but less cold.
But it was worth it?
Always. And seeing them, kind of each get their legs to say, you know what, we're doing this. Some of them, kind of tiptoed in. Some of them just took the plunge, and it was wonderful to see them step up and want to do that.
Others, what's the memory you have?
All the driftwood that God provides, even though they don't have any trees, the coastline is just littered with all this driftwood that supplied our campfires. It was great.
I think the beach parties, the 2 beach parties were a big highlight for me.
Picking up rocks. Ask Carter, how many rocks did you bring home?
1 million.
They stopped him when we were leaving Alaska and took his bag because he had his carry-on bag. They're like, what is in here? And they started pulling out bags of rocks. And they're like, oh, these are all rocks. He's like, yeah. And they put them all back. And they all came home with him.
I will vouch, the rock picking was worth it. And sea glass.
Sea glass. Yeah.
Anybody else got a good memory?
Just seeing everything, like the mountains. Well, they don't really call them mountains to them, but us, it's more mountains, and just spending time with my son, getting to do the mission trip and learning and seeing stuff that we don't usually see around here. And then being on the beach with all the driftwood and just the camaraderie with everybody here. It seemed that everybody fit in and had our own, like, we didn't set roles for anybody, but we all just kind of fell in and nobody was out of place or anything, and we were just all connected.
And I think the fact that we all got to know each other better through this experience.
How did we get around out there? We had a 15-passenger vehicle.
It was an 11
Oh,
passenger.
was it 11? Well, I don't
That
know
we
what.
crammed 13 people into.
Oh, I didn't count. Yeah, some sat in the very back. And over the bumpy roads. We do not have nice, smooth roads like it is around here. They were really, really bumpy and like gravel. And yeah, so it was an experience. But that person that donated his vehicle for the week was very appreciated.
The wild muskox sighting,
Yes.
that was fun.
And where were they?
Just alongside the road, out in the tundra.
Yeah.
What
I don't
was-
know where we were. It was foggy. I had no idea.
Somewhere not far from the radio station towers.
Up in the hills.
So
kind of.
what is the tundra like?
Spongy,
How would you describe it? Colton, you had, how did,
short little bushes.
Yeah.
Walking along feeling like you're bouncing on a, I don't know. Do, 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 do.
It's not unlike a mini trampoline. You know, there's a lot of texture to the tundra. It's not just one flat, smooth area, even if it looks like it. You know, there are some shrubs, if you will, that grow to be 4 foot high, but you only see 6 inches of it actually poking up over the ground. So there's these big craters, and there's a little tree nested in it, and you feel like you're just walking on a water mat. It's a surreal feeling.
Also, we got to be part of a funeral procession in town. We did. We couldn't believe it. We're like, well, this looks like a funeral procession. As we're driving along, and the car ahead of us turned.
Truck.
Truck. Yep. There is a casket in the back with 2 guys holding on to the, sitting by the casket.
With
So-
American flags.
Yep. Yep. So we were part of that.
Carl, my perspective was that I've been to Nome many times, being with the Arctic Broadcasting Association for over 15 years, and we really didn't know what we were going to be doing when we first started. They were hoping the progress would be much further along, so we would be inside painting. But as it turned out, what they really needed was a bunch of people willing to do everything. And since Colton and I spent a lot of time on the roof together, we got to know each other pretty well. So I got to look down, and I would see a painting station and a cutting station and a drilling station, and I could hear the framing going on inside of it. So KICY is a 65-year-old mission that reaches more than 40 Eskimo villages in Alaska, and also broadcasts into Russia in the Russian language to Eskimo villages on the Russian side. And so for me, my heart was so full because we were the team that KICY needed. They didn't know that this was going to be such a great need, but we left our mark. I mean, we left that building in a completely different state. I mean, it was almost completely finished on the exterior. The walls were installed. The roof it was watertight, so now they could move inside. They didn't know that they needed us when we signed up for this, but for me, watching this group work together, my heart was so full. The cooperation, the laughter, the accomplishment. I mean, just every day that building got more and more finished. And when we left, from almost anywhere in the city, you would see this tall blue structure that everybody could see. And we just accomplished a tremendous amount of work for God's kingdom.
I also had an opportunity to, as I walked around town, because we didn't all work constantly, but there were breaks when, the work wasn't there to be done. As for example, when we paint, we had to wait for them to dry, to move them on, to let them dry, and then to put another coat on, and then wait for them to dry to move them. So we could walk around town, and there were different ones that I ran into a few people, and I don't talk to people, haha. They're like, why are you here? And I said, we're here working with KICY to broadcast to Russia, and they were not aware of the situation of that. So it was a way to open doors, and
No major injuries. That was wonderful. I mean, Todd got a couple little nicks, but that
No
doesn't count.
injuries, but the fire alarm went off.
yes, it sure did.
Was that somebody's cooking?
Yes. The
Okay, we'll go
potato
on to the
water
next
boiled
question.
over. Yeah.
So, what was the coolest thing that you experienced?
Subway with a view.
Subway with a view.
Yeah, the Subway restaurant. Beautiful windows with a view of the Bering Sea.
Colton did a headstand right by Subway.
On the retaining
Rocks.
rock. Storm break? Yeah, that thing.
Going down to the little cabin, Chris, she's from the church in the area. They invited us to their little cabin. I don't know if you can even really call it a cabin. It's more like a shed. But walking down there was quite the hike to get down there on the driveway, and then we had to walk across the tundra and stuff. But once you got down there, they had a little area with the fire and stuff, and sat down there. We had pizza and just looking over the Bering Sea, and the kids and Colton went swimming and did an obstacle course, and we just hung out there.
The moon. So first night that I noticed the moon in Nome, I just kind of tracked its arc across the sky. And then the next day we were out at the beach for another campfire. And I got to thinking, where we're at geographically, the moon's got to behave quite a bit different than it does down here. Are we even going to see the moon today? So the moon changes position in the sky very quickly, and after that day, it was gone for the remainder of our trip because it was doing other things down here. Nerdy, but very cool.
What maybe surprised you the most? You all had some expectations of going, but what surprised you?
Seeing the homeless everywhere in Anchorage and in Nome. And maybe summertime is just a good time for them to nap outside during the day. I don't know what their plan is for winter, but we don't see that around here.
I would say that, and just the abject poverty in the town itself.
In Nome, you're
Yep.
talking, yeah.
Yep.
It surprised me how dang smart Patty is. I mean, that girl knew her stuff. She was clued into the project. She knew what was needed for supply runs, and it was really cool taking direction under her.
And she was able to juggle that with running the station at the same time.
She's a Swiss Army knife.
Okay, you mentioned running the station. I'm going to ask Mike. You had something that is called Care Force.
Yeah.
What is Care Force?
Well, Care Force is something I participate in monthly from here, from Minnesota. I call in for a live radio station broadcast. And Monday through Friday, there is a prayer, a half an hour prayer broadcast in which the listeners will call in with their prayer requests. And this is the most popular show, actually, on KICY. And I was able to do the show live in the station 2 mornings while the team was listening either back at church or in the van hunting for muskox. And so that was our devotional time. I was giving my devotion and then praying for the people we were serving in the area. And that was really, really special for me.
So a wrap up. Would you go again? Was it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I would 100% go again. It was amazing.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Do you guys have any questions for them? Is there something that occurred to you that you have any questions? So what's the population of Nome?
There are about 3,500 permanent residents, and in the summer, the population swells to about 7,000 with gold seekers and other workers for various occupations.
So the history of Nome, you've had a picture here, if you notice, it says incorporated in 1901. And at one time, Nome was the largest city in Anchorage because of the gold. Or, yeah, what is,
Yeah, at
sorry.
one time they had about 30,000 people in
30.
Nome. Yeah, and 50 bars. I caught that at the history
Okay.
center that we went to.
The reputation, the Wild West, somebody who said that, the history is still that. It still has it's the edge of the world type of deal, so.
I thought it was interesting that the Eskimos, the Inuits, would come to Nome, sell their furs or whatever they had, but then they would go next door from where they sold them and spend their money at the bars. And then they didn't have any money to always get back home. So
There are a lot of social problems in the area. It's part of what we minister to. But there also is a really, really rich indigenous American culture there. So it's we're trying to keep it strong. We're ministering to some of the social problems, but there is a wonderful cultural history that is also very much respected by the station. And so we have a lot of indigenous programming to keep their language and their music alive.
Anybody else? Did you learn any phrases?
I've forgotten it. Did anybody remember how to say thank you?
Koyana.
Koyana, thank you.
I didn't learn it, but when we were heading back from the grocery store, in the van, we listened to, I think it was just me, Mike, Colton, and Todd were in the van, and he turned the station on, and it was the locals singing. And it was not the easiest on the ears, but it was still cool to listen to them sing and do their own thing.
Anybody else? Any other?
Heavy equipment there with the lifts and all that. Did you have any other contractors there to run the equipment?
Was there anybody else helping you running the equipment, the lifts?
Dwayne, will you?
Yes. There was a contractor for the job. He had his lifts there, and where was Aaron? He was a counselor for the school.
Yes.
Which donated his time to run the equipment.
And then there were two other volunteers, Carl and what was the other one's name?
Aaron.
And Ron.
Oh, Ron.
Three.
Yes,
And
Ron
Ron.
joined our team. He's on the Arctic Broadcasting Association with me. He's a board member.
There's also Lloyd that helped with the framing.
Oh, yeah. Lloyd is the master framer for the whole town, actually.
But you have been so kind to be there with your prayers to support us. And so I want to just say thank you. That was very, very kind of you.
Is there anything else that you guys want to share? Did we miss something that you're itching to share?
It's an experience I have never experienced before in my life.
I would encourage anybody that wants to go, if we have another mission in the future, I would encourage anybody that wants to go.
Look at us. If we can do it, so can you.
Mike, didn't you tell us one time the radio station is a longer mission than the actual church? Or is it the first mission of the Covenant Church?
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, this is the oldest mission field in the Covenant Church. The people who started this denomination 140 years ago were already doing ministry in far western Alaska. So we've had a footprint there before we did anything else. So yeah, it's true to say this is the oldest mission field of the Covenant Church, for sure.
So Danny, not just the radio station, but all of Alaska, Western Alaska. And if you go to Unalakleet, they'll have a large granite monument to the, can't think of the guy's name, but that was one of the first missionaries to the natives there along Norton Sound.
Yeah, many of the churches in the 40 villages that we serve on the American side were started by the Covenant Church, and many of those churches have a great difficulty in calling pastors. Many of them are without pastors. They have to be lay-led, and they depend on the programming of KICY for a lot of things, for weather, for world news, but also for Christian programming. This is where they get a lot of their Christian education.
And is it my understanding the current Covenant Church in Nome is looking for a minister? They're in between?
Yeah, anyone who's
right now?
interested should apply. Yeah, they're between pastors right now.
Anybody interested?
Yeah. If you want to learn more about KICY, too, encourage October 8th. I think it's a Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
It'll be here that more information will be coming. But also, go to their website, kicy.org, and just follow some of their, you can listen online if you want. You can hear what Milton's talking about, the native music. But also, they publish a KICY call letter delivered via email every other month or once a quarter, something in that time frame. Just gives you news and update. Simply go to their website or send an email to the office at kicy.org and say you want to be added to the KICY call letter mail list. They don't print them anymore smartly because of cost, but once a quarter or something gives you an idea of what's going on at the station or what's, some general news of what's happening identified.
Patty said that our mission, the group that was there, will be featured in the October one. So that's the next one coming out.
Yep,
So
we'll
sign
share.
up. It's cool. It's nice.
Yes. Anything else? Mick?
I noticed, I think it was the hospital, but it said ambulatory this, that, and then it said tribal healing.
Tribal healer.
How does that intersect with the healing of Christ?
Yeah. Well, the local population likes to have a wide opportunity for healing, and so they still have a great respect for the traditional way of healing. Yeah.
And you were saying that, because I asked, how do people survive? What's the main industry? And you said the hospital, the medical profession, and then also, was it social services? Is another one?
Yes, a great many social services and of course the mining industry. The Nome is the hub of all of the Eskimo villages across Western Alaska. They take flights in from Anchorage twice a day, and then also twice a day from Nome. There's a Bering Air flight out to the villages. So, but that's where anyone that is coming to or from the villages has to go through Nome to get to anywhere else in the world, really.
And just what Mike alluded to, there are two roads in Nome, both dead end. So you can't, as Colton talked about, the infrastructure, you can't get there from here on a road. Everything comes in by barge or air.
Or dog sled?
Yeah, they're very proud of their Iditarod finish. You could see signs of that all over town that they, honor that.
Yep,
And the
and it
finish-
finishes right in front of the church that we stayed at.
Yep. Yeah, so. How do we close?
Well, again, as Cindy said, we are so grateful to this congregation because you sent us. And you made a big difference. Great work. So, thank you.